everybody. I'm BJ Flagg.
And I'm Rich G, and this is episode 287, When a Banking Crisis Hits Home. This is a real positive one, right? Right, BJ?
Very positive. But, you have to say to yourself, this week has been last couple of weeks have been a little hard.
Yeah. Are you scared?
I'm personally, as a small business owner, my first reaction was, where's everything?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I get scared. You're like, should I stay with my bank? Should I leave? What should I do? I have payroll. I've got all this other stuff. What I have to pay bills.
Yeah.
And you get nervous. This type of thing scares people.
Yeah. But you know what? The recent SVB, banking crisis was a significant event that affected many businesses, right? Especially those that relied on Silicon Valley Bank for their banking needs. So there's a big story there. There's like a lot that are starting to unfold about that entire story.
Yeah, and if you're a small business owner who is nervous about facing challenges due to the crisis, here are some steps you can take to handle this situation.
Right.
So, BJ, what's our first step?
The first one is develop a close relationship with your manager. As we were preparing this, we were kind of surprised of a lot of people don't know who their manager even is. You have so many choices about when it comes to a bank, what to choose. And you could choose a big bank, a small bank, community-minded, or a global powerhouse. You have a ability to make those choices based on what your needs are. Some people don't do that. They just go, the bank is closest to me, I'm going to go to that bank. But we want you to think of it from, the first day you open up your account and a banking professional helps you with all the paperwork. Even before you do that, ask to talk to the manager. You can't imagine that relationship starting right at that point. Introduce yourself, begin a discussion about what he or she loves about the bank and why they're there. But see if you can get to know them. See if you're comfortable with them. They're about to take basically all of your money. So you got to be able to introduce yourself and begin that conversation. If you feel good in your gut, go for it. That's going to be the place for you. You've already done your research. Rich, you're going to get into all of that. But cultivate the relationship with a banker from the get-go. I have a banking story recently where I've been with a bank for 15 years. I wanted to take a car off lease and buy it. I made a phone call, and the first thing Edison said was, "Have you run the numbers?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I think it'll be a good deal." No. Have you run the numbers? And I went, "No, not really. I was just kind of thinking it." And he went, "Yeah, come over." So we sat down, went through it. And I said, "Okay." At the end of our discussion, he was so good about it. He said, I said, "Well, do you have paperwork for me to fill out to get going?" He goes, "Oh, no, I was doing that while we were talking." And that afternoon, he calls me, he goes, "Yeah, everything's all set." That's because I had a relationship with him. So he already knew so much about me.
Yeah, BJ, that's the perfect story to show when you have a good relationship. BJ and I both know a great bank manager, Nancy Romberg, Fairfield County Bank. She was in our networking group for many years. She was the consummate banker that would call you up and let you know about things that were happening and, talk to you if your balance was getting low or so. She was wonderful. She just retired, but she was the epitome of what a bank manager was,
Oh, yeah.
Just incredible.
Yeah. And she was a teacher, not a accuser. She would teach you and say, "Hey, listen, you should really look into this." And that's what made her special. She was amazing.
Absolutely. Well, step 2 is know your bank's vulnerabilities. Like BJ said, develop that relationship with your manager, and it's totally appropriate to ask them for their financial statements and or annual report. In this kind of banking environment that we're living in right now, they should have and be able to give you a summary of their exposure, their holdings, and their health. Okay, so also another thing that you could do is do your research on the web. Use FDIC's Bank Find. It's under FDIC, just Google Bank Find. This tool allows you to search for information about FDIC insured banks in the United States. You could find details about a bank's history, their assets, their liabilities, and financial performance. There's also another site. It's called WeissRatings.com. That's WEISS ratings.com. This is an independent rating agency that offers ratings not only for banks, but for credit unions and insurance companies. Their ratings are based on an analysis of financial strength, profitability, and other factors. Yeah. So really know your bank's vulnerabilities. Do the research yourself and talk to your bank manager.
I know you and I got into that discussion about, your bank, but do you know who the investors were?
Yeah.
And that was one of the key parts of the recent Silicon Valley failure.
Yeah.
Those investors were, moving very, 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 very quickly.
Yeah, they somehow they knew a few days beforehand to take their money out. It was just amazing.
Shocker. Yeah.
They must be really good at their job, but
yeah. Step number 3, spread the wealth. Explore alternative banking options. Your money is FDIC insured up to $250,000. Uncle Joe Biden told us that just recently with the whole debacle. Diversification of your assets is really a wise idea. Putting all your eggs in one basket, don't do it. But there are, so many different types of banks, depending on what your needs are. So you may have money so that you can handle a line of credit for foreign use. Well, that's a different bank than maybe what you need. Salander might be a great bank for that. But your local community bank might be the perfect place for your mortgage if they're doing those. And you need to make those choices and be able to see how your needs are different, even if they're not big needs. They're just, you handling your things. But investing is diversification also. Think of the money that you need on hand, the money that you might need short term, and then the money that can have long-term investments. Those are all different levels that you can do and feel diversified and comfortable. It's all about your self-confidence of what is going on with your financial needs. Also, real estate investments. Yes, again, you got to do your research. You got to see what your own bandwidth is to be able to handle something like a real estate investment. And then obviously your interest and what your passion is. So all these things start to give you a better balanced financial portfolio. So, we're not experts. Rich and I are not experts, but boy, do we know experts. And that's really such a key situation.
Yes. I have one word, Bitcoin. Put it all in Bitcoin. There you go. No, and by the way, let us say this again. I think we didn't say this at the start. We are not financial advisors, okay? I'm an executive coach. Yes. I don't give financial, legal, or medical advice. Okay.
And really, when we were talking about this, I said, what springs into action for me is Crisis PR.
Yeah.
We have a fantastic firm that deals in crisis, in crisis PR, and they're particular. Like they're the ones you call they're the fixes. They call you, take care of everything.
Yeah,
and you need them when these type of things happen. But yeah, we know where our expertise is.
Exactly. Step 4, the future. Okay, moving forward from today, review your financial plan going forward. If this isn't a clarion alarm saying you need to review your financial plan, this is the best time of the year to do it too. A regular review of your financial plan is critical because as it helps to ensure that your business remains on track and adapts to changes in the market, customer preferences, or economic conditions right now. Some of the things that you should do to stop worrying about this stuff and take action, because doing this will bring you from emotions to facts. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to list a bunch of things, but just hold on. Revisit your financial objectives. Review your financial statements. Update your sales and revenue projections. Assess your expense management. Reevaluate your pricing strategy. Review your cash flow management. Examine your debt management. Assess your risk management strategies. Update your tax planning. And finally, review your investment strategies. Am I scaring you with these actions? I might be, but get help from your bookkeeper, your accountant, your tax preparer. It's the best way to go. And they're your friends when you're looking at all of these things to do.
Right. And so many people will say that where I'm so nervous to look at all that. Going, don't be nervous. This is your business. You can do all this. This is all stuff that you can do. And the minute you have control over it, like you're knowledgeable about where everything is and how it's all going, the relief, the less stress is unbelievable. You got to build up that confidence to look, take care of it, and be able to know you can weather this type of a storm with no problem.
Yeah. If you talk to your bookkeeper, accountant, or tax preparer, I actually do this. And I go, how am I doing? And they go, you're fine. I go, great. And I can just go off and run my business. Yeah. But if they go, well, you need to do a little more of this, or you need a little more cash flow, or you need this, that's fine. I know exactly what I need to do rather than standing here going, I have no idea. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. What do I do? And you make stupid decisions rather than informed decisions.
You're reactive instead of proactive.
Exactly.
So we want to get you there. Resources this week, we wanted to say stay informed. Stay informed. We can't believe the number of people we talk to who say, I don't really even look at any of that. We will say to you, look at the Wall Street Journal. You need a daily business journal that will keep you up to date on all the things going on in business. And yes, balance that with a news site or two. But reading Marketplace every week from the journal is going to keep you in the know. And one of the things that kind of breaks our heart is people who read their Robinhood snack or their little thing from Morning Brew or whatever, and they think that's the be all end all. It's not. It just isn't. That's just like a little microcosm of what's actually happening out there in the world. And you need to be the judge of that. Yeah. You don't need them to serve it up to you. You need to be the judge of that. So looking at the bigger picture and being able to see onto the horizon is so important.
Yeah, every morning I have the Wall Street Journal and New York Times app on my phone. And I spend about 10, 15 minutes scrolling through the articles I want to read. And I scan them and I'm up on everything that's happening very quickly. I stay away from the opinion sections because both sides drive me nuts. But Marketplace and the front page, what's going on, these are two well-trusted newspapers to read on a regular basis.
Yeah, really do well.
And that's it for this week. You can reach out to me at richg.com and you can find BJ at newrenew.com.
Thanks to our producer, Richard Scalzo, gets everything right.
Have an unbelievable week and catch you later.